Welcome to Finding Completion. This series is exploring my time in-game as a maxed RuneScape player. For me, getting max stats meant changing my goals totally as a player. I was no longer chasing 99s. I'm finding enjoyment in other aspects of the game. Boss collection logs, clue scrolls, virtual level 120 skills, achievements, and rune score. The beauty about this game is carving out an adventure for yourself regardless of if that adventure is of value to other players. Why don't you come join me on my adventure as I find completion? Ladies, gentlemen, and everybody in between, thank you so much for joining me on today's episode of Unhealthy Gaming Hours. Today, we're gonna talk about the item that I mentioned at the end of last episode that changes everything for me. The reason this changes everything for me is because it was a shitload of money. So I'm going to go ahead on screen is going to be proof. So here's proof. Also, here is proof. I got a blood dye from Treasure Trials. I was totally not expecting to get a blood dye from Treasure Trials. I've only done about, yeah, you know what? Actually, let's go to the GE quick. I'll show you. All right, Treasure Trials stats. I got it from an elite treasure trial. 216 elites I've completed. That might have been a couple more than I actually got the die at, but 216 elites I have gotten. If we look at my actual drop log for dies, so I got, I think, out of a hard. So shadow die, I believe I got a shadow die. I do not have a barrows die. If we look at elites, blood die. So I got the most expensive die in the game. It maybe is about the same price as the third age, but regardless, I got just about 8 billion GP from getting this blood die. That is an absurd amount of money. I have never had anywhere close to max cash even in this game. So the fact that I got that much from one singular item really is just a godsend, honestly. So right here, 222 million spirit shards. Obviously it says lots because that is above max cash. Now I said I sold it for about 8 bill. It was a little bit less. It was like 7.9 bill. I didn't really care. I was tired of standing in World 2 advertising. I posted on the forums as well, but I was tired of waiting. So I basically just took, I wanted 8. I took a 100 mil cut off of what I actually wanted just because of time. I didn't feel like sitting around. Anyway, this is not 8 bill GP in this amount of shards. I did slide my friend a cool max cash because we had an agreement, not like a formal agreement or anything, but, you know, a loose agreement over the years of saying like, oh, you know, bro, if I ever get something, you know, I'm definitely going to be giving you, you know, fantasizing about giving each other max cash, basically. So I thought that would be a, you know, a cool thing to do for my friend. I was super excited. And plus we'll be able to do content together too. He went and bought Crypt Bloom with his, which is something that I'm also going to be doing. What I want to do is kind of just start buying some items that I have wanted. 8 billion GP is a lot of gold. And, you know, obviously I don't have 8 bill at this point. I have a little over 6, or a little under 6 actually. But anyway, that is a lot of GP. It's nowhere near close enough to get you to best in slot for even a single style though. I mean, maybe melee you can get like best in slot, but at any rate, I want to get Crypt Bloom for sure. I did want to get an FSOA, but the problem with an FSOA is it's like 3 bill. So I would be spending like half of what I have on an FSOA. Basically, if I bought that, I would be able to get Crypt Bloom and FSOA, and that's it. And in order for me to get an FSOA, I would need another EOF with an Armadillo Battle Staff special attack in it and stuff like that. So it's like, I don't really know if I want to commit that hard to it because there are some other things that I want to buy. If we look on the GE, Greater Ricochet is 977 mil. So just about a bill for Gricko. I do want to get this. I'm not planning on getting a lot of upgrades for ranged specifically. Ranged, I think, for my setup is pretty passable. In my gear tab, I do have Serenic, and then my ornament kit for my EOF is a Dark Bow special. I do have a second EOF, and I did buy Crypt Bloom gloves a while back because Crypt Bloom gloves are 30 mil, so not 600 or 700 like the two main pieces, the chest and the bottom are. And then I got another EOF, and the reason I got another EOF is because I had the fortunate components already, and I made myself an alchemical hydrix. All I needed to do was buy a souls and a reaper neck. I've also been kind of torn on if I want to get vestments of havoc. You know, these pieces. The reason I was torn is because I have some malevolent essence. So I only need, basically what I would need to buy is I would have to get some Torva, and then I would have to get some Torva. I'd be able to make myself trimmed masterwork, boots, helm, and gloves. I would not be able to make myself a plate body and plate leg. So I would basically have to spend this on the plate body and then this on the plate legs. Obviously, that's a lot cheaper than having to buy something like the Vestments of Havoc. But yeah, so that's kind of the route that I was thinking of going, is just getting myself trimmed masterwork and then custom fitting it to have that. I don't necessarily need seismics. It's 700 mil for the main hand, and then about 700 for the singularity for the offhand. I have elite sea singers, main hand and offhand, and these are tier 88. They're not, you know, obviously the best, because there are better pieces of gear, and 2 tiers of an upgrade for, you know, basically 1.1 bill. I don't know if I want to commit to that or not. Basically, I want to just buy a couple of things and then see where I'm at as far as cash goes. I'm going to grab my crystal teleport, and we're going to go to the Amlod district. This way I can exchange some shards here. I'm going to be honest, I don't know how max cash works. Okay, I got 70 mil shards. I think like 80 something mil is max cash. So I figured this would keep me under that. So 1.7 bill. So I'd have just over 2 with what I have in my money pouch currently. So let's go ahead, confirm that. There we go, 2 billion GP. I think if you get over max cash, it'll overflow into your inventory. Let's go ahead. I'm going to buy Crit Bloom first, because I definitely want that. Okay, 200 mil less in the money pouch. Got the top, helm, bottoms, and boots. I bought all of them for mid instantly. So let's see. Got 22 mil back on the top. That's cool. 10 mil back on the helm. 16 back on the legs, and then 12 mil back on the boots. If you're watching this in the future, that was either a steal of a price or it was insanely overpriced. I mean, that's how RuneScape tends to go. I didn't buy the gloves, I already had the gloves, so there we go. There's full Crit Bloom. I also wanted to get Gricko, so I'm going to need to get some more shards. Greater Ricochet. The main reason I'm doing this is because I just kind of want to talk through what I'm getting. You know, I'm not at all a high tier PVMer. I have an understanding of what upgrades and stuff are, and I always hear so much about Gricko. I'm gonna have to get a chroming switch for my offhand, but I think this is the right move. I have the money for it. I'm just gonna buy it. By buy it, I mean let it sit in the Grand Exchange. Okay, I'm gonna leave it in the GE for 980 mil. We'll see if that buys or if it's even going for that price. I have no idea what this thing is actually going for. But we'll leave that in there for now. All right, so I basically have 3 bill left after buying Gricko and after buying Crit Bloom. I have to like think about what I want to buy now, because 3 bill is a lot of money for me to get like multiple upgrades instead of just one singular upgrade. I could probably scrape together enough cash to not have 0 GP and then buy an FSOA, but I certainly would not have enough to be able to get a Armadillo battle staff and then, you know, an EOF for that. I already probably should buy another EOF. This way I have one for mage, magic, and melee, but I don't know. So I don't have a few things. So I don't have Carapax wrist wraps. It's 2.5 mil, which is, you know, very cheap for just the base ones. And then you have the upgraded ones, which are 58 mil. For the tier 90 ones. The other thing that I could get are gloves of passage. So it's 30 mil for the base ones and then 81 mil for the enhanced ones. Another option is to get the upgraded dag rings with one of the hearts from the matriarchs. I'm not really sure. I want to get stuff that's going to be the most beneficial for me. I do have an Inquisitor staff, and I know that can be upgraded as well. I'm not, you know, I don't think you can buy the items for that though. I'm going to take a little bit of time. I'm going to kind of think through what I want to get, and then I'll kind of report back with, you know, what I eventually ended up getting with some of the money that I have. I'm probably not going to spend all of it. I say that now. I'm not sure, but I want to see what other, you know, pretty sizable upgrades that I can get. I'll do a little bit more research. I'll kind of figure out what would benefit me most, I guess, and then I will, you know, I'll spend accordingly. I'll report back soon. All right, so I did a little bit of just calculating prices of things, and I spent a little bit of time doing the Yak Track, honestly, because Yak Track just came out, Expedition to the Wilderness. I'm on 23, so me and my friend were just doing that, so took a little bit of a break to do that. But anyway, this is the last of the money I have. So, and I say last of the money, it is surreal seeing max cash in my money pouch there. Then a little bit overflowed. I did end up getting Greater Ricochet, so I had to slow buy things because it just took forever. Okay, so right here, Greater Ricochet bought 1,050,000,000 coins. I bought Torva plate legs and then Torva boots for these prices. Main reason being is because I wanted to get trimmed masterwork. I've decided that I want to get trimmed masterwork, so I bought these two because I had some malevolent essence already. I made 4 trims so I can have masterwork helm, boots, and gloves because I already had those. You can see the placeholder here for them. I sold my static gloves and I got 30 mil for those because I didn't realize that they are not 2 mil because they're used in a new upgrade recipe. So that was pretty cool. But I also bought a noxious staff because I need to get biting 4. I have 1 biting 4 on my Crypt Bloom top. I've not perked these yet, but I need to get more noxious components for another biting 4 that I will eventually put on my my trimmed masterwork. As you can see right now in the GE, I have an Amulet of Souls that I'm trying to buy just because I use a blood necklace for just dumb stuff and I'd rather just use a souls. And I bought my 3rd Essence of Finality. I tried buying it for 280 mil and then 285 mil, and after like basically it sat in at 285 overnight and it didn't sell. So this morning I hopped on and quick and just put in an offer for 300, and then it sold for 293. That Essence of Finality is going to be used for my melee setup. I also got the Greater Flurry. You could see it right here, grayed out, but I got the Greater Flurry ability codex as well. I bought that for like 81 mil. Okay, so what are the last things that I want to get? I don't think I'm going to get Seismics at this point. It would be 1.4 bill for the Seismics. I don't really want to have to spend that much money. I'm just going to abort the offer for this. We'll try it for 71 mil. We'll see. It sold for 71, so just under 71 mil. That's kind of cringe. So trimmed masterwork, I need to get the plate body and then the plate legs. I adjusted the offers. I put them in for like 1.5 mil or so more than what the mid price is. I'll just leave them in there to try and buy those. Other things that I want to get. I want to get the enhanced gauntlets. So there's the enhanced care pack wrist wraps, the enhanced gloves of passage, the enhanced nightmare gauntlets. Now, I was lucky enough that I got a Leng artifact right here very early on in Glacore. So I don't think I'm going to get the enhanced nightmare gauntlets because I have nightmare gaunts already, so I can just use my Leng artifact to make them enhanced. What I don't have is the enhanced care pack wrist wraps and the enhanced gloves of passage. So I think I'm going to buy those. And they bought for 57 mil flat, so we have those. The gloves of passage have not sold, did not sell instantly, so we'll have to leave those in there. So what I want to get is the Champion's Ring next. That is the Rex Matriarch's upgraded dagger ring. So basically what the Champion's Ring does is it gives you something called Crimson Strikes. It adds 3% additional critical chance against bleeding targets, and when you're using something like an Abyssal Scourge that always has a bleed on your target, it becomes pretty useful. We need a Heart of the Warrior. Put it in for 28 mil and see. We'll let that go. And then we need 10 Warrior's Rings. So 4 mil in this, and then 28 mil in this if they actually buy for these prices. All right, so the Reaver's Ring, it requires a Heart of the Berserker. I already have one, so I don't need to worry about that. And then it requires 10 Berserker Rings. What it does is it gives you the Reckless Assault passive, which adds an additional 5% critical strike chance, but reduces your accuracy by 5%. So this could be a very useful ring where you're not dropping yourself below 100% accuracy or significantly below 100% accuracy, because you do get that additional 5% critical chance. So I want to go ahead and get that because I feel like I'll get more benefit out of that than the Channeler's Ring, especially at its price point. Try and buy them for 6 mil a piece. So we'll go ahead and leave these in. I have 1.6 bill in my pouch right now. I can buy a couple more things with this amount of money. I don't know if I want to do that or not yet, though. So I'm just going to let this stuff buy while I kind of plan out what I would like to do next. Okay, so I just went through and just favorited some stuff that I could potentially get. Grimoire, I'm pretty much set off of doing that. There's also the Scripture of Full that I could get. That's like 500 mil, though, so I don't really know if I want to do that. Chaos Roar, 130 mil. I could go that route for melee. It would probably be the last like substantial melee codex ability that I would need because I believe I have everything else. Greater Chain, like I said, Codex of Lost Knowledge. I could just make Greater Death Swiftness and Greater Sunshine. Getting 2 lost codexes of Lost Knowledge is, you know, nearly the price of just buying 1 Greater Death Swiftness, but I would have to get the Sewer components in order to actually turn it into a codex that I could use for myself. So that just means a lot of Hellweird grinding. Not really a huge deal. I could go that route anyway if I wanted to save, you know, basically 400 mil doing that. There's the Elite Tectonic, Seismics, and then I threw in these two. I'm probably not going to get the Fire Torch, but Taga's Core Hammer, I am at 113 mining. I have been slowly doing mining, trying to get that to 120, and the Core Hammer would for sure help about that. The Fire Torch is mainly going to be used for fire making, and I'm not really on a hard grind to do fire making at this point, so I don't really know if I want to spend money on that. But the Core Hammer, I think, would probably be a little bit more of an upgrade for just my regular day-to-day skilling. All right, while we wait for those things to slow by, I'm going to go ahead and do my Reaper. I have Vindicta that I have to do, and I get to test out my Crypt Bloom, which will be cool. And then after doing Vindy, I'll check back on the GE, and then I figure I could probably either work on some Scarabs, getting the comp rec out of the way, or I do still have some stuff that I have to do in the Yak track. There we go. Let's go. Glimmering Scale Drop. That's awesome. So I only need 1 more pet and then I have the log complete. Very cool. And I've been 7 hours dry at this boss, so getting that is very nice. Is very nice. Awesome. That's only 2 kills in to my Reaper, so that's a good start. That's a good start. All right, the Reaper task is done. I'm still trying to like figure out this setup or not. It seems like it's pretty okay as far as the amount of damage that I'm taking. I started off by protecting magic, but I should just look up a guide and see what other people do. I figured using Blood Blitz would probably be a good idea to get some health back, but as far as speed goes, my melee setup is actually faster than this one is, and it probably has something to do with how my action bar is set up. I kind of just winged it, so to speak, as far as like the action bar is set up, so I don't know if it's really that efficient. I know it's not, because I noticed that I'm hitting 100% adrenaline and just continuing to use like basic abilities instead of threshold, so I'm definitely losing out on damage there. But it's my first hour doing anything with Crypt Bloom. I also don't have perks on this either, so I only have Biting 4 on my top. I have perks on this, but no Aftershock, unfortunately. So I'll go ahead, I'll finish out this hour, and then I'll see how, you know, I'll just see how it goes. I'll have to make adjustments accordingly whenever I do this again, if I'm going to be doing magic. So yeah. All right, got another Vindy task for my Reaper, because I didn't pick mine up for today. So let's go ahead and do this one then. That Reaper's done. That Hour of Indy is done. I still didn't get a drop. I got a Dormant Anima piece, and then I got a Essence last hour. Aside from that pet, this is my 8th hour dry on like a big Vindy drop, so it's been kind of annoying, to be honest. That's a lot of hours. Crit Bloom was cool, though. It was fun. I definitely got to get perks on it and everything, but it's way more chill and laid back than something like doing melee is, where you kind of have to just not... Like, if I'm doing Crit Bloom, I could just straight up walk away from my computer, and you know, that's cool. I don't do that, you know, even when I'm AFK in content. I'm usually here, but it's kind of funny that you could just like straight up walk away from a God Wars 2 boss when you're wearing Crit Bloom, you know. I have some yak track stuff that I have to do. So fishing is next. I may just AFK fishing for a bit, but the first thing before I go and do that, I want to check how my Grand Exchange offers are, because I haven't looked at the offers at all, to be honest with you. Literally, as I got down to hand in my seals here, because I'm close on the last bit of reputation, my Masterwork legs bought, so that'll be cool. At least there's one thing in the GE waiting for me. Conquered everyone's heart, reached the maximum reputation with all God Wars factions. Very cool, very cool. I didn't know if I was gonna get there or not, but I guess we just destroy these, because I reached maximum rep. So yeah, 100% drop chance increase and title unlock. The Venerated requires all reputation, all faction reputation. So very cool, cool. Very nice, very nice. All right, let's go check the GE. And just the fucking plate legs. All right, well, plate legs bought, so that's cool, but none of this other shit bought. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm just gonna adjust the prices on all of this, and then hopefully I can pick some of this up. Okay, so the Berserker's rings bought instantly. I raised everything up a little bit. These bought, okay, for just over 70 mil. I was gonna put them in for 7 mil a piece, but that works. So this one we can make. Craft Heart of the Berserker, Reaver's Ring. There we go. Reaver's Ring, very cool. I can alch it for 600k. All right, bet, dope. I'm gonna low alch this fucking Reaver's Ring right now, I swear. That's exciting. So we're gonna throw that in the bank for now. Exciting enough to put it away in the bank and not immediately equip it. So we do have a couple more things that I gotta buy here. I'm just gonna let them sit in there for a little while. I got something to do for a bit, so I'm just gonna go AFK fish. All right, I wanted to continue on with the yak track, and the next step I believe is mining or wood cutting. I want to do some mining. So I bought Taga's Core Hammer. My Warrior's Rings bought, like we saw before, so I'm going to take those. The Masterwork Plate Body sold for 238.8 mil. I put it in for 240 and it bought instantly. So I have my Trim Masterwork now. I still cannot buy these two. I upped the price again for them and I still don't have them. So I'm just going to leave them in there for a little bit longer at these prices, and hopefully it buys. I have no idea. I have no idea what these are even going for. I love that the Grand Exchange accurately, you know, portrays what current prices are for some of these items. It is phenomenal and flawlessly working. I did some yak track, and I'm currently on the summoning one. I don't feel like doing summoning, to be completely honest with you, even though 600k XP I could probably do pretty easily, but I'm gonna opt for the skill and kill, I think. Main reason being I can go to Het's Oasis and start working on my scarab count. Before I go start doing crocodiles though, I did see that there was something that bought on the GE. I don't know what it was. Heart of the Warrior. Bought it for 45 mil flat. I still cannot buy the Gloves of Passage even for 100 mil. I checked the price of the enhanced Gloves of Passage. They were sitting at around 105 to 100 mil or so. I think I'm just gonna leave them in for 100 mil and then see what happens from there. Hopefully I'll buy them for that. I really don't want to buy them for more than that, but I mean, I don't know. If they're actually buying for this much money, I may just buy the enhanced Nightmare Gauntlets if that's the case. Considering the enhanced Nightmare Gauntlets are 87 mil, probably would be a better idea for me to just get those. I could always grind out trying to get the Gloves of Passage as a drop from the Magister, so I might actually, you know what, actually, now that I'm saying that, why don't I just do that? I'm gonna leave these in for 90, because if I can get them for 90, that would be nice, because then I'll just not get these. But probably not going to sell. Probably not going to sell because of the way the prices are. The price checker bot does say that these are going for 101 mil. So I'll just change these to 95 and see what's up. All right, so those bought for 95. I'm going to get rid of that offer. So 92.6 is the enhanced Nightmare Gauntlets. All right, very cool. Champions Ring, nice. Go ahead and throw that in the bank. I gotta repair these quick. I didn't sell these. They're not gonna sell for mid. I'll just leave them in there for mid, and then hopefully we could sell them. But at any rate, let's go ahead. I'm gonna get ready and go over to Het's Oasis. All right, so we're just gonna chill here for a little bit. We'll catch a couple of these scarabs here, and then we'll move on from there. So I kind of have to use all of the flowers that I have here, so I should just click on the highest level ones, which are the speedies. But yeah, so the hydrangeas and then the hollyhocks here, I have to get rid of them, and then I also have some in the other pond too that I'm going to get rid of. But we'll start here, and then we'll go from there. All right, so as you can see down in my currency pouch, I hit 3,000 scarabs. The south side lake is definitely where you want to catch these if you've never done the scarabs before, because the north side lake, which is probably where people would go normally, where the actual vendor is, you have to run around a lot. But when you're doing it on this end, you can kind of stay in one spot for most of your catches. The hitboxes can be kind of weird sometimes. Like you saw, I was trying to click on the one behind. It was clicking on the forward one. But so I have 3,000 right now out of 5,000. But yeah, I'm going to go grab the last upgrade from Dundee's shop. So Dundee upgrades. Last one right here, increased scarab stacks. So this is going to be very useful for getting the last 2,000 I need. The last thing to actually purchase is just a cosmetic upgrade, so that's not necessarily something that, is going to impact how fast this goes or how efficient it is. To get the 5,000 scarabs, it takes around 5 hours from what I understand. It takes about an hour to get 1,000 scarabs. That'll be increased slightly with the increased scarab stack that I just bought, because instead of catching 3 scarabs at a time, I could do 4 at a time. So it'll increase it a little bit, but also the auto looting helps out so much to not be constantly running back and forth. But this is all that I've gotten in the amount of time that I've been here. I've done about 2,200 catches or so, something like that. And this is how much these are worth. The speedy shells, surprisingly a lot, 13k a piece. You do need to use 15 of these to make the powder of burials, which allows you to just stand at the bank and just bury bones. So I'm assuming people do use these, which is why there's so much money. They are also the highest tier scarab, so you need the highest hunter level in order to catch those. But yeah, you also have to use hollyhocks. I have this many hollyhocks just literally from doing the Het's Oasis event when it came out. I just stood at the bushes and was just harvesting these the entire time. But yeah, so we'll go ahead, we'll catch some more, and we'll see if I end up getting to the 5k or not. All right, and there we go, 5,002 scarabs. Let's go over to Dundee and get our last reward. All right, at Dundee's shop, we'll take a look at the achievements quick. Completionist Cape, Crocodile Hunter. Unlock all hunter upgrades. Golden Crocodile is all we need. So let's go ahead, upgrade, buy, confirm. And there we go. Crocodile Hunter, unlock all hunter upgrades from Dundee's shop. And we have 2 achievements left for Completionist Cape. Bill and Ben's and then Music Maestro. We are so close. And it won't be long before I finally get my comp cape. Alright everyone, and here we are at the end of the video. I apologize, this was much longer than anticipated, but I had to wait for a lot of this stuff to buy, and I just had a lot to say about what I wanted to buy. So hopefully some of you found that interesting, just kind of my thought process talking through what I wanted to do. So here are the things that I bought. So I got full Crypt Bloom armor. It looks fantastic. I really love just how this armor looks. Personally, I think it's really cool. So we got full Crypt Bloom. We got 1 EOF, got a Champion's Ring, got a Reaver's Ring. I got a Soul's Neck, just to use for random stuff that I don't want to use Essence of Finality charge for. Went ahead and got full trimmed Masterwork armor. It's custom fitted, so I can't trade it anymore, but that's perfectly fine. I'm not really looking to trade it anyway. Enhanced Nightmare Gauntlets, Enhanced Carapax Wrist Wraps, Ataga's Core Hammer. I got Gricko. I got Greater Flurry. And then I got Greater Chain, which I haven't used yet, so we'll just go ahead and unlock the ability now. Fantastic, unlocked Greater Chain. Some of the things that aren't shown here that I bought some Subjugation because I needed Zamrock components. I bought a Nox Staff because I needed Noxious components for something like Biting 4. I tried to best in slot all of my armor, but Impatient 4, Devoted 4 still eludes me on my Trimmed Masterwork. I did get it on my Crypt Bloom, though, as you can see here. An expensive perk, really fucking annoying to get. But yeah, at any rate, thank you guys so much for watching. If you made it to the end of the video, chances are you probably enjoyed watching. So please leave a like. It really does help me out. Maybe the video will get recommended to other people. Who knows? Next episode, we're for sure going to start working on some more comp recs, considering we only have 2 comp recs left. If we look at our achievements, 21,330 rune score is what we are ending this episode with. On screen is the increase of rune score gain from last episode, and as you just saw for our completionist cape achievement here, we only have 2 requirements left. Very exciting. All right, well, thanks again anyway for sticking through this whole thing. I've gone on long enough, and I will see you in the next episode. So see you later. Peace.